You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
This is episode 764 of the Dressage Radio Show, official podcast of the United States Dressage Federation on the Horse Radio Network, brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Genay Vaughn shares her World Cup qualifying journey and what are the next steps to the World Cup finals. Emily Donaldson talks about training in the USEF Dressage training and evaluation sessions for development and emerging young horse program with Christine Traurig. And we hear all about her time in Ocala this winter. We also get a chance to check in with Ashley Rand on her new business. Listen in. This is Reese Koffler-Stanfield in Wellington, Florida.
And this is Megan McIsaac from Oregon, Wisconsin. However, I'm in Cali right now, and you're listening to the Dressage Radio Show.
Hi, Megan. How is Cali?
It's good. It's 80 degrees.
Love it.
I'm hot.
Finally.
There's no rain. There's no fire. Life is great. How are you?
Don't stress it. Don't challenge any of that.
I just jinxed it.
You did. Right. Tomorrow it's gonna start raining. Oh Lordy. Well, we did actually have a little rain today in Wellington. It wasn't terrible. They had forecasted, like when you looked at the forecast, I got up super early because I was like, oh, that looks bad. And honestly, it was fine. It was a little drizzle. It was like, okay, come on, this is fine. But it's been good. And I hope it's Palm Beach Derby here. Last week was Nations Cup week, which was super fun. I actually was able to take a little bit of time off and go watch the Grand Prix for the Nations Cup. So I really did enjoy that. We kind of had a watch party on Thursday, which was super fun. And then again, we came on Friday. Not all the horses went on Friday for the Nations Cup. Germany won, and which was great. And we were second, and I think Sweden was third. I think so. So I know, when you're watching it, I didn't watch the actual medal ceremony, so they did it another time, and so I didn't see that. So there was a lot of fun stuff going on at Global. I mean, it is full season here. We have lots of people visiting, which is fun. So that's been good. It's been very good.
I love it.
So, I know. Anything in California? How are the horses? What's going on?
Nothing really good to report. I'm actually been working on a lot of paperwork. I've been doing a lot of businno in my downtime.
I love it.
Isn't that wild?
No, because that's what happens in the winter, or you should be. No, I'm with you. Yeah, it seems to never end.
Yep, I've been reevaluating business and just getting organized. I'm getting ready to actually go home. I still have a month, but I guess I'm chomping at the bit to go home and just kind of get my house in order. What about you?
I love it. Same kind of thing. I think for us, when we're away training, there is some time that is fun. I do have a goal to actually read a book this week. We're going to try doing that. I have been looking at our book club. I've been looking at our book club book. So we're really excited for our book club book this month. But I actually have my friend gave me a book for my birthday and I still haven't opened it. So I have a goal this week is to read, but I'm with you. Kind of same thing, working on my website, just updating stuff and kind of getting all that stuff in order because it does get busy when we get home and we're busy here, but not as busy in a way. Mm-hmm. So it's all good. So this week is the Derby, the Palm Beach Derby. So I'll have fun stuff to talk to you guys about that. That should be really fun and should be a good week. So I love it. We're going to get into the show because we have a great show tonight. Everybody enjoys after this commercial break from Kentucky Performance Products. We're coming back with Genay Vaughn. You're going to love her. It's her first time on the show and she's getting ready for the World Cup.
She had waited all her life for this moment, dreaming about it since she was 10 years old. The trailer ramp touched the ground. He whinnied as she backed him out, swinging his head around to get a good look at his new home. His coat gleamed in the sun. Her love had arrived. She was breathless. He was beautiful. She could hardly wait to tack him up and start off on what she was sure would be the best times of her life. This love story is brought to you by Contribute, providing essential omega-3 fatty acids that help maintain low inflammation levels throughout your horse's body. The horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. Call 859-873-2974 or visit kppusa.com to order today.
Well, tonight we are so excited to have, which I cannot believe we have not had Genay Vaughn on our show before, but we're so thrilled to have her. Genay, she's an international dressage rider in California. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we are thrilled, and we cannot wait to hear about you and your horse, Gino, because you have achieved the maximum points required to qualify for the World Cup in Basel. They haven't announced a team yet, but you've gotten the scores. So we want to say, first of all, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And then we want to hear all about you and Gino. So Genay, introduce yourself, and then we'll tell us about Gino.
Okay, I'm Genay, and as you've heard, I ride Gino, and he's a beautiful Dutch warmblood by Bretton Woods. He's going to be 14 this year, and he's been in our family since he's been 6. My mom purchased him on a trip when we went to Holland, and he was originally going to be for her. But after she saw me ride him, and once we got home and she just saw me ride him a few times, because I usually ride the new horses when they come overseas or new client horses first for a while and kind of get them acclimated. She saw our partnership and she saw like, wow, how talented he truly is. And she knows my goals of competing internationally and representing the U.S. And she thought we were a great team. And so she was really selfless and gave me the ride on him.
I love it. So how long have you been riding Gino?
I rode him since he's been 6. He did go to Europe for a year and showed the Nürnberger Bokbakal and the Louis d'Or, and then came back over after that. And I've ridden him ever since.
How fun is that? And you are certainly not a newbie to dressage. We were teasing. We met, you were 15 and I was, I think, 28. And we met at Gladstone, and it was so fun because it was your first year at juniors and my first year at the Grand Prix. And I said, now I'm so thrilled because it's like a full circle moment for me. I was like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So I've been watching you and I've known you a really long time. So I love that. So you're not a newbie, but tell us, you are pretty new to the international scene, right? The international Grand Prix scene.
Yeah, so I'm not a newbie per se, but definitely new to the international Grand Prix world. I did FEI juniors when I was 14. Then when I turned 16, I did the FEI Young Riders, and I've done NAJYRC and Gladstone. And then when I was 18, I believe, with my stallion Donner Weiss, I made the jump up to the U25, and I was one of 2 selected to represent the U.S. It was Chase Hickok with Sagacious and me with Donner Weiss, and we did the U25 European tour. So we got to like dip our toes in and show at Hagen and Rotterdam and get a really good experience showing in the U25 Grand Prix in Europe. And that was just extremely helpful. And then Gino has been my first big tour Grand Prix horse, and it's been amazing since I've, had him since he was 6. And I remember when he was behind when we picked him out, he showed 1 second level test at 6. And so it's been fun. I remember doing a change on him and teaching him the changes. And now I'm doing 1 tempies, and it's so fun how that goes full circle. And we got to do some training in Europe. Like I said, I would go while he was there and train. And now I got him his first passport, and we did our first CDI together. And it's such a journey, and it's so fun to have him for so long. And I know his personality ins and outs, and he's my best friend. I love him so much.
Well, I love this. It's so great because we're talking about how important it is to have partnerships like you and Gino, that you've ridden him through his whole career, really his whole big career. And you rode him in Germany. I mean, you've already ridden him and done this with him. So I think it's so cool and so fun to hear your story with him, and that you guys have been together a long time. So
yes, yeah. And he's totally a character. So he has the funniest personality of a horse. He's quirky. He likes things a certain way. And I am at the barn run 7 days a week because I am Gino's person. I take him in and out of the stall, to the paddock, to the walker. I am his groom. I am his masseuse. I stand with him for the farrier the whole time in the cross ties. Like, I am his person and I do everything with him. And although it's very time consuming and I don't have much of a life because it revolves around Gino, I do think it really contributes a lot to our partnership in the ring. And I think he trusts me and I trust him because, you know, we're there for each other every day. And he knows I show up for him when I need to, and he shows up for me when I need him to. And I think that's really important, knowing your horse, knowing, you know, if the shoe's a little bit different, knowing every single thing about your horse is so important. And yeah, it just kind of happens because I'm there every day. But I do think it helps us.
I love hearing that you've gone through our US program from juniors all the way up. And I just think that's something really special. And did you find that prepared you for choosing CDIs to qualify for the World Cup? Was it similar? And did it set you up for success?
Yeah, so I guess maybe it's a little bit different. My mom has been my coach my whole life, which is pretty fun. And she kind of has guided me throughout my whole career. And I'm lucky enough to have a mom who's so knowledgeable with horses. You know, we have a breeding farm, a training farm, sales farm, and I've grown up with her showing me the ways and the ropes. And from a young age with juniors, for instance, there was a way to qualify by doing nationals or CDIs. And she always made me do CDIs, you know, for juniors, young riders, and U25, because she wanted to make sure that I had like the true, I don't want to say the true opinion of judges, but you know, when you get to the championship, those judges are going to be there. So it's really good to get their feedback while you're trying to qualify, and the scores are really realistic to what they'll be when they go there. So it's not a surprise if you're getting really high scores in the national and then you go to the championships and you're like, oh my gosh, why is my score so much lower? You know, it really prepared me for that, if that makes sense.
It does. And now I know that it hasn't been announced, but you received the total of 60 points. But what is the plan now until the World Cup finals?
Yeah, so this is all very new to me. Like I said, this is my first World Cup final, so I'm kind of with you guys and figuring out the plan. And, no, I'm kidding. But
on some level, yeah. But
yeah, no, I'm also figuring this out step by step. And I was joking actually with Anna Buffini because she went and she was like, I was texting her like, hey, can you give me any advice or tips? And she was giving me advice or tips. And I was like, okay, after this, let's create like a manual for anyone that goes, so you know what to do, because there's no manual or anything, you know. You kind of just figure out these things as you go. But it would be so nice for a newbie to be like, okay, this is what I did. This is what I recommend. This is what I don't recommend. You know, just things like that could be super helpful. So we were just joking around.
Okay, can we already book you? Can we book you for after so you can come?
Yes.
It'd be so fun. I'm already put my hand up. Say, I want to know, because I think we all want to know here, like
the do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts. And there's and that's the thing. You get to see, you know, what it's like once you get there, and you know, we get the press and all of those things, but that's actually a huge part of this, right? Like you have to travel, and
it could really give you like the behind the scenes of, you know, everything looks so amazing on Instagram, and I'm sure it's amazing, but you guys can really get like what went into the planning, not just like seeing me arrive there. I can tell you, you know, I know.
I think that's every horse show too, right? Yeah,
I've already called my contact Carl at Apollo Shipping for flights, and we're already thinking, you know, when's the best flight to get on? He told me, you know, this is the main flight you should get on. And so I have that planned. And then I want to go over there a little early, maybe not go to Switzerland per se right away, because it's in basically like a big event stadium, you know, like where they hold events. It's not it's like a big hall that they turn into this amazing dressage competition. It's not always used for dressage competition. So I know that the setup isn't going to be ready until a certain day. So I'm thinking of going to Germany with my my dear friend, Mr. Wolfram Wittig. He's great. I had the honor of going and training with him for 3 months a summer, and it was just so eye-opening, and I love the way he trains. And so he's in Roden, Germany, and he's actually one of the coaches for the Danish team, and he's so insightful. And so I want to go there early, get Gino acclimated just to Europe, and then when it's time and we're allowed to go to Switzerland, then we'll do that. That's kind of the plan so far. I don't know if that changes or not, but it's the rough draft.
I love it. I love the rough draft. Exactly. Like, I'm sure it'll change 40 times before it actually happens.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, I want to be prepared. I want to have a plan. I want to get my flights. I want to do all these things because although it's like the first week of April, this time is flying. So it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, I think.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, I love this question. Do you have any superstitions when you compete? Is there anything special that you do?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, I do think I come from a superstitious family because now that we're on that, I come from a baseball family, and I just remember going to my dad's games when I was little, and then my brother's games. Like, if my brother got a home run, I remember my mom and my dad would like stay where they were. They wouldn't like move seats, or like if my dad sat far away or stood over there, he'd like go back over there before my brother hits it. It's just like a weird superstitious thing. But now that I think, okay, I don't think I have anything superstitious. Sometimes when I do really good, I think about my nail polish color that I wore.
I knew it. I knew there was something.
Yeah,
I knew
next
it.
time I get to the salon, I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick that one. But if I didn't have a good show and I wore that nail color, it's like, okay, we're not doing that again. We're going to switch it up. So.
You got to go back and like look at your best score and let us know the nail polish. Like, I want to see an Instagram on the nail polish. Like,
okay, I'm gonna do that.
We've asked this question before to Olympians, and it's funny because I forget, somebody was really funny about their socks, and you'd have to go back, but they like colorful socks, which I totally agree with and love. So I love it. Nail polish color. I love it. Okay.
Nail polish color.
Hey, I'll take one for the team. I mean, if you let us know, we'll get a color for you.
Okay, I will. And then, besides that, I just try, it's not really superstitious, but I just stick to my routine. I braid him myself before I groom him myself. I tuck him up myself. I do all of that. And I think we just have our routine together. But besides that, not much besides the nail polish.
That's huge, though. I mean, just knowing that you have your routine with your horse and you do it, I think is really important. And I think that's really special to hear. So first of all, Genay, we are so excited. We here are going to be cheering you on. Definitely with the nail polish color. How can our listeners and us, how can we follow you on your journey?
Through my Instagram.
What is your Instagram?
Okay, so it's just Genay Vaughn, G as in girl, which is already a little bit different than how most people spell Genay, and then ENAY and Vaughn, V as in Victor, AUGHN.
We're going to be following along, and we wish you the best of luck with Gino, and we can't wait to hear the behind the scenes when you get back. Running low on essentials in the barn? Chewy's got you covered. From feed, supplements, to stable supplies, even medications. Get everything your horse needs delivered fast and free for orders over $49. No more last-minute feed runs or searching for their favorites. Just easy, reliable delivery straight to your barn. Get all your favorite brands like Tribute, Cosequin, Farnham, UlcerGuard, and hundreds more. Shop now at chewy.com/equine and get more time back to be with your horse. For low prices and for fast shipping, there's Chewy. And they have dog food and horse supplements. Everybody, I have already had deliveries this week, so I love it. And I needed a supplement from KPP, and boom, it was at my house the next day. So it was amazing. So I love Chewy. I hope you guys use it as well. Well, tonight we are so happy to have back Emily Donaldson. She is in Ocala this winter. I miss her down here in Wellington. Emily, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how is Ocala? Because I do miss you, Wellington. But what's going on out there? You having a good time?
It's been great. I'm at a really super farm, Purcell Farm, which is the old Woodford farm. So they actually still have thoroughbreds training at the farm, which is
Cool.
something I didn't realize about Ocala, how common it is. It's historically an old thoroughbred place.
Yes.
And so a lot of these farms still have thoroughbreds, and now they have performance horses. So Danny and Brittany first bought the farm, I don't know, a year ago maybe, and he's renovated it and built a covered arena. They have 2 outdoor rings, more hacking than you could dream of, and it's fabulous. So it's fun because I get to share the facility. Hampton Green is here, Brian Hippner's here, Matt Flynn, so Linda Nairn. So it's really fun to like spend like, the days training and with, people that are your peers, but also in other disciplines. And it's a really, really great vibe. And I'm pretty like introverted. And so at home, I have my own place and I'm used to just being by myself, but I really do enjoy being around the other people because we're all pretty compatible. So it's been really fun.
Well,
I
that's
love that.
wonderful. How would you compare it to Wellington?
For me, I like the space. So
Yeah.
it's got, I don't know, it's like, it must be like close to 1,000 acres. I don't know how much land he owns. He owns a ton of land.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so it's huge. And for me, like riding out, I ride my horses out at least twice a week. And the thing I struggled with in Wellington was there's so much sand there and it's deep. And it's flat. And so for me, I find the horses really benefit from having a change in terrain and also a change in surface. So I like to have my horses on, obviously when I train, I want them on consistent surface, but I also like to get them out on pavement and walk them on pavement. I like to walk them on grass. I like to ride them on grass. So what I love about the facility is the opportunity to have the horses on different terrain. And so that was the thing I never found in Wellington, and at least places that I could afford. I couldn't afford anything that had that. Mm-hmm. And I found that my horses sometimes got sore at the end of season because they didn't have the ability to get out of the sand. And so, or not having the ability to get them up and down hills. And then the turnout too was really challenging. And I have a lot of young horses. And so here we have fabulous turnout in regards to space. And now it's starting to change into green grass, which is even better. But, it's for me having the young horses, like, where we are, we can turn out as much as we want. And in Wellington, I struggled with the limitation on the time horses were out, the size of the turnout. And then also, once again, I found them being in like really deep sand. So, I find for me, like I found Wellington was really limited in space and options. Yeah. Like the things I miss are, everything's right there. And so here I find everything is at least 20, 30 minutes away. And so I find myself being at the farm a lot, which is okay. Financially, I'm not out spending money that I don't need to spend. But sometimes I'm like, damn, I need to like go run an errand and it takes me all freaking day. And so that was the beauty of being in Wellington was you could go and do something like global. You shoot off your 10 minutes to global, you show, you go home. And here, even WEC, it takes a little bit more time. But for me, like the advantages for like the quality of life, even for myself, like, the house that I have at the farm and with the horses, just the amenities, I could never afford it in Wellington if it existed, but I really don't think it exists in Wellington. So for how I like to take care of my horses and train, this is really where I belong.
I love it. And how is showing at WEC?
It's awesome. So you don't appreciate it until you see it in person. It's huge and it's overwhelming because everything looks the same. So when you first go there, you're like, I don't know where anything is. And so now that I've been there a bunch, I've gotten to figure it out. But it's great. Like there's they're still figuring out the sort of area for the dressage, but they've at least established, like, they have barn X, which is on, the far corner. And then they have this big indoor where you can fit, at least when we've been there, they have 3 dressage rings in there, 2 that they run for the show, and then 1 that's a warm up. And then they have an additional warm up space. And so, and it's a little bit similar to Global in that, like, you get there and it's all like pavement and structures. And so there's not a whole lot of like grass, but there are some areas to hand graze, but the stabling's really nice and the arenas are great. Everything's very user friendly. They have outdoor rings, which they've run for the national classes, and it's very efficient. Is once you get there and you figure out where you need to go, it's easy. And it's funny because in comparison to Global's like a little postage stamp.
So small, yeah.
It's really efficient. It's super efficient, and it's like like Global's not designed to be used the way it is. Like it's it's over capacity, and so you have like trailers parked in like random spots, but that's Global. Like that's the fun of Global is and everybody understands that about it. And so WEC is a little bit more more laid out, and they've really thought about everything. Like the wildest thing, which I was like, what is this? I was like, why do they have so many trash cans? Like, and then I realized you clean your stalls into your trash cans. And then the cool thing is, like, there is no manure anywhere. And so it's brilliant. So they have trash cans for manure, trash cans for trash. And everything's enclosed, and they empty them multiple times a day. And so there's no manure anywhere. And so from the standpoint of flies and aesthetics, like I think it's the Roberts, like they have really thought about everything, and you can tell that they're very particular about aesthetics and how things look and how things come across. And I think it's really cool to see a facility like that, like the way they've come up with a plan, how to make it all work and look nice. And you can tell like they care about that. The food is fabulous there. Like they have this pastry shop where I'm like a big croissant fan, and like they're like
Me too.
Like an A. Yeah. Oh my God. And so I went there today just to get a pastry because I don't know any horse show in the US that's like that. Yeah. So it's cool. It's different, but it's super cool. And I think, I think the one thing I was telling clients about that I think some people don't like probably is like everything in the indoor. At the last CDI, they only had ring 1, but at the first CDI, they had ring 1 and ring 2. Everything's on Clip My Horse, which I think for some people, like they like showing at Global and the National Ring because nothing is televised. And so I think for some riders, that's one thing that, like if I'm going to go take my horse out and I want to ride the level for the first time, I might not take it to WEC and risk having it be on Clip My Horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm like a big name, like I'm not that. But I remember Laura Graves, the first time she showed Sensation, and I too. Like I was like, I love it. I get to watch it and learn what she's doing. It is different. Like you have everything that's like it's out there and you can watch it, good or bad. So, but anyway, it's been great. It's awesome. We've done a bunch of small shows, which are super. And like, I think I've shown, I don't know, I think I've shown 7 times or something since I've been here.
Oh, wow.
It's been crazy.
Wow.
I've done a lot of like basically, I love competing. And so I came down here with a plan and I like stuck to it.
I love that. I love it. And you also I think came to Wellington for the Christine Traurig Young Emerging Horses, right?
Yep. So I was invited it was the end of January. They had the emerging young horse training session, 5-star or 5 rings. 5 stars still done place. Yeah. 5 ring farm. And And it was great. So I have a horse that's 6 coming 7 named Hairsweaven, and he's owned by Lynn Eastburn. And he's a little bit like the prodigy horse where everything comes naturally to him. And so he showed 4th level for the first time, and my goal is to see if maybe he could do the developing pre St. George this year at 7. If not, we'll give him time. But he was invited, and so we drove down. Mallory, my groom, and I went down and drove down. Got up at left at 5:30 that Monday. I got to watch a few of the other riders. Rode Monday afternoon, and then I rode Tuesday, and we drove back, and then I did a CDI at the end of the week, which is kind of crazy.
Welcome to Florida, everybody.
Yeah. And it was great. I've participated in a few of these clinics over the years with different horses, and I haven't ridden with Christine in a few years. So it was fun to ride with her again and to just have kind of, things you hear from everybody, but it's just said in a different way, reinforced. And it was great. It was, I think anytime, because even though I'm at the farm and I'm with other people, I think the one thing that's hard about the sport is you just feel a little isolated sometimes, and you get caught a little bit in your own world. And so it's nice to go out and be a part of an organized clinic like that, that's, with really super riders and horses, and to just see, for me, when I've done the clinics, I've been in Wellington, so I don't watch anything because I come in, I ride, and I leave. And so it was really great was to sit there and actually watch other people ride, and to listen to Christine talk, and people that she has clearly a relationship with, and there's history, and so she's talking about what we've done in the past and what we want to do and how you want to see this developed and why. And so that was really fun. I love stuff like that. It's why I love college. If I could be in school all the time, I would.
Right?
Yep.
And so,
I am the same. I love college. That's actually, I like Wellington too. I mean, like you said, and I think I just wanted to reiterate, because I think everybody also listens to the show, right? Because wherever you are and whatever you're up to right now, you do feel isolated sometimes in our sport, and you're like, I'm cleaning these stalls in this weather. And I think it is good to hear, we're all doing that. So that is exactly what we're up to. And so it's not, and it does take time to say, I'm going to sit down and go and watch. I went and watched the Grand Prix the other day for the Nations Cup, because normally I'm working, and that client was showing in Ocala, so they were gone. So I was like, I'm going to take time and go to the horse show and sit and watch, because I haven't had an opportunity. And I think sometimes it's so good. And but also just remember, we are a community, and we're always stronger with a community. So I think that's so cool that you recognized, and just know, whatever you're doing right now, everybody, we get it. we're doing it too.
But I think it's hard, because I think it's I've learned a lot this winter, in a way, by what I don't want to do, or how I've sort of kind of gotten to a place where I've been able to have more confidence in myself, and also to recognize that there are ways of training, and you have to realize that not every horse can be trained the same way. And if you walk through my barn, I don't have a barn with a theme. Everything in my barn is different. And so I like that. I really like that, but I think it can be hard, because I realize there are trainers out there that have it one way, and I've dealt with this enough now. I've gotten to this point where I'm like I was joking to my friend Tim. I was like, sometimes I feel like I can't ride, and he's like, you can ride, and I was like, I think I can, but sometimes I feel like I can't.
I've seen it.
And so I think it's kind of fun to get to the point where I'm like, I'm 42, and I'm starting to feel maybe a little bit confident about myself. And I think the hardest part about training is the reality that every horse comes out different every day, but also that you have to train each horse as an individual. And so I've really, like, I'd say, like, the theme for my winter has been that, and also to trust yourself. And it's not naive and like ignore people that are giving you information, but also to trust yourself and to know when you maybe need to do something different, or when your history with the horse will trump a little bit maybe somebody else's opinion. Because like I've gotten myself into some situations where I'm like, this isn't the best thing for the horse, and you just have to trust yourself. And so I think you don't know that until you stick yourself out there and you start to like, you get a little bit outside your bubble. And I think, I think it's like everything I've done, I've learned something from it in a variety of ways, and I think for me, like, it's why I like coming down here is I have to get off the farm, and I need to get around other people, and I need to talk to other people, because it's like you start to realize, like you said, you're all in the same boat, and to be respectful of each other. And we're not all the same, but we can all work together and be collaborative and learn from each other. And it doesn't mean we all have to do the same thing or we have to be like each other, but we can support each other, So anyway.
I love that. Yeah. I think that's just great advice. And I think that that's something that, I think we all, that's where, again, going back to the community and finding it. And I think it's great to know. I think we all think like, oh my God, she's amazing. And it's like, well, actually, but sometimes it is good to remember with a coach, they're not always right. Like you said, I've had experiences with this horse. I know this horse. And I think sometimes we all, you want to be a good student, but I think that sometimes that was something interesting you said where I thought she's right. Like sometimes a horse a long time and like I've tried that. It's not going to work or whatever. So
right. Mm-hmm. I think that's hard. It's really hard. I mean, I like even like with my husband, he's my vet, and I've challenged him sometimes, and I'm like, he's older than I am. He's got way more education than I do in veterinary medicine, right? I don't have none. And I'm like, I was right. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And so, I think that's hard. It's like, it's hard to, you also have to be willing to accept when you're wrong, which I'm like, will always say, hey, my bad. I'm like, I was wrong. And I think both sides of that, it's hard. It takes a lot of humility to be able to do that. So.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, Emily, you have great insight today, girl.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on up there, but yes, that's awesome. No, I so appreciate you sharing and taking time to be with us tonight and sharing, what it's like to kind of change change your location, and it is hard once you kind of get in a routine somewhere to go somewhere new. And I'm so glad it's working for you. I love that. So if our listeners have any questions or want to chat with you, how do they do that?
So, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a website, which I don't update.
That's the thing. I get it.
Anyway, either of those three ways.
Fantastic. Oh, Emily, thank you so much for your time today. It was great.
You can enjoy your favorite equine videos all in one place with Ride TV, the ultimate equine streaming platform. The newly relaunched Ride TV has all the series you love, like Rockstar Vets and Mini Horses, plus top-tier training videos and event footage from barrelracing.com and Horse and Rider on Demand. Whether you're ready to relax with your favorite series, binge watch competition footage, or train with a world champion, subscribe to Ride TV today for only $19.99 to see where your ride takes you. Visit ridetvgo.tv to subscribe.
Well, tonight I am so excited to have back on the show Ashley Rand Torres. She's been on the show a lot, and we're super excited because she has some amazing news. International Grand Prix rider and trainer Ashley Rand, welcome back.
Hi, thank you. It's so good to be back.
I know. Now we can officially call you an International Grand Prix rider because you have gone down the center line a lot of times now at the CDI level. So
Yeah.
great. Congratulations.
Woohoo.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming for sure.
It was pretty cool. I have to be honest. I went and got to see her first time down the center line. It was so fun and emotional for everybody. So Ashley, what have you been up to? We haven't had you on the show in a while.
Oh, I've been up to so much, just still trucking away with my training and riding business here in Wellington and in Cleveland, Ohio. I have a few babies that I bred that are riding age now. So that's been really a fun adventure for me. Just branching out. I've also started a couple years ago, I started an equestrian fashion line that is launching this spring in March. So that is a whole new realm of the equestrian world that I'm really excited to explore and just grow and have my business not just be pinholed to just riding.
I love this. Obviously, I've known about this for a while and I'm thrilled. I mean, this is such a cool adventure and to see what you're doing. So tell us all about your company and what you're up to.
Yeah. So I actually, back when I was in college, I remember I wanted to start a riding pant company. And that's kind of how my business originally started. I opened an LLC and everything in my dorm room for a riding pant company. And it just got put on the back burner because I wanted to ride and pursue the riding end of things. And I just couldn't do both. So yeah, fast forward to, we're 12 years later and I decided, I'm getting a little older, riding 10 horses a day is getting a little harder. So I was like, I need to branch out a little bit. And something that I do love is fashion and exploring personalities and just feeling good, looking good. You ride your best that way. So I just dove headfirst and I started this company last August. And it's been a learning experience, but also just broadening my horizons and not getting so pinholed into just the riding and training, which I love. And I will continue to do that forever. I just, and Reef, you've always taught me this, to expand and have your foot in a couple different doors, just in case we get hurt or things like that. So I'm really excited. It is, I named it after the Celtic goddess Macha, and she represents horses and war and kind of this badass equestrian woman. And that's kind of how the first line is, just feel your best, look your best, be your own inner goddess. That is the theme.
I love that. And in starting your business, like, what is something that was unexpected, good or bad, that you're learning about?
Yeah, it's a whole new realm. I do have my business degree, but I've been so focused on riding and training. And, I've worked for a bunch of people and I kind of knew the ins and outs of the industry. So I just thought, I'm just going to step on over into this fashion world. How hard could it be? Business is business. Well, that was so naive, so naive of me. And so basically it's been a whole learning experience. I've been to like fabric shows and learning the intricacies of fabrics and manufacturing places, just like us when we go to Europe to look for horses. It's the same thing, overseas and in the United States with fabric manufacturers. Like, it's just so cool. I did run into a few like hiccups in like design and, I'm working with a company that's helping me, like a third party, and they're not horse people. So just trying to explain what we want and like what horse people want versus like the normal everyday person. That was hard because I'm like, I just want a good riding pant. And they're like, what's that mean?
Yeah.
So it's been really cool and really exciting. Obviously ups and downs. It's been a huge financial burden for me the past 2 years. Every cent, instead of buying horses, I've always put my money back into horses, buying horses. And this, I'm like putting it into clothes, which, good and bad. I think horses, they can break their leg, they can die, they can do all these things. Well, these clothes, won't do that. So that gives me a little bit of peace of mind,
Yeah,
So
that's a good
I'm
thing.
just really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's been a really good adventure for me so far. And, it's all about the journey. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
So tell us, when does it launch? What colors, like, what do you got going on? Because I want to be the first. I told Ashley I want to be customer number one. Because I'm ready to be a paying customer.
Always. Always, Reese. You're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So originally we were supposed to launch in the fall, but things happened. So now we're going to be launching in March, the first week of March 3rd. And we have 3 limited edition spring summer colors. They're really pretty. It's a really pretty like mauve color and a violet and a tan. They're really, really pretty fall colors. And then we have our normal basic colors that we'll have year round, which are black, white, and navy. So we'll always have the black, white, and navies, and then we'll just swap out per season with 3 other colors.
I love it. I really like, is it violet? I like the purple one. It's really pretty.
Yeah, the purple one's really pretty.
It's really
I mean,
pretty.
it's like hard for me. Yeah, because I'm such a black girl. Like I could wear black on black on black for everything. So it's been really fun to be like, oh, this color is really pretty. And like even the colors, like I want to wear the colors and I'm just such a black. I love wearing just black. So I'm really excited to start wearing all the fun colors.
I love it. So the company launches the 3rd of March, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do we order? Like, I want to know these things.
So the website will be live on the 3rd of March, and you can just go on and order through the website right now. And then, hopefully down the line, as I grow and learn, I wouldn't mind going to retail stores. But right now, it's going to be a small boutique. My husband and I will be packaging each little order in our garage. So we'll just ordering off the website right now. And I have an Instagram, just trying to juggle all the social medias. So,
and how do we spell it and how do we find it? Tell us how to go, like exactly what we do.
So it's right now I'm just on Instagram at Matcha Sport, MACHA Sport.
All right, girl. Well, thanks so much for your time tonight. How do we find your training business, your other business?
Yeah, my other businesses are Art Dressage. I have an Art Dressage website, an Art Dressage Instagram, and TikTok. So I'm on all of the social medias for that currently. And yeah, just chugging along, training horses and prancing around.
Love it. Well, thanks so much, Ashley, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, guys.
Well, everybody, don't forget the USEF book club that's going on. Build a Better Athlete with Leslie Webb. Megan, I know you've got it. I've got it. We're working on it, and we're gonna be able to talk about it soon. So we're really excited, and they have some great exercises in here that I hope everyone is using. Well, as always, you can find our show notes and links to today's guest on our page at horseradionetwork.com. Just search Dressage Radio Show. Like us on Facebook, just search Dressage Radio Show. My website is maplecrestfarmky.com, and my email is reese@horseradionetwork.com.
And my website is lindenhoff.com, and my email is lindenhoffllc@gmail.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Kentucky Performance Products and Chewy. We love you, Chewy. If you'd like to support our show and the Horse Radio Network, you can do that through the auditor program found at horseradionetwork.com. Keep on kicking on.
We'll talk to you guys soon.